Before you slide behind the microphone to record even one line of wrestling commentary, you gotta watch today's video. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. If you are passionate about the craft of pro wrestling and you're never done learning all about it, I happen to think you're in the exact right place. So join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe down below and enable notifications so you never miss out on a video. Today's topic was recommended by one of my loyal patrons, so I'm dedicating this episode to Alex. And stick around to the end of today's video when I'm going to tell you how to get my brand new audiobook, Toolbox, Building Better Pro Wrestling, absolutely free. Among the many roles I've filled in the world of professional wrestling, one of the most challenging is that of commentator. And throughout the years, I worked in various configurations behind the mic, as a one-man booth, that is to say, supplying all the commentary by myself, as part of a two-man booth, being paired with another commentator, and a three-man booth as well. While honing my skills as a commentator, I came to understand there are 4 essentials you've got to master to be really effective behind the mic. The first of these essentials I think every commentator has to master is the ability to turn weaknesses into strengths. Every professional wrestler that ever takes the ring has some weakness in their game. Every human being has some flaws. But as a commentator, you can't be calling out the weak points in their game. It's our job to always create value in what the viewer is watching. So you've got to learn how to convert weaknesses into strengths. And I'll give you 2 examples of how to do exactly that. Here's one example of how you could turn a potential weakness into a strength. Let's say that there is a 50-year-old wrestler in the ring. Is he likely to be as quick or as agile as his 19-year-old opponent? No, that isn't very likely. Should you call that out on commentary? Absolutely not. You're going to convert that weakness into a strength in this way. Talk about how much experience this 50-year-old wrestler has. He has seen every trick in the book. In fact, he's even invented a few of them. He's clever and he is cunning, and he's had to be to survive in hundreds of matches against some of the toughest opponents to ever lace up a pair of boots. Find a way to turn that potential weakness into a strength on commentary. So in that example, rather than identifying the age of the 50-year-old wrestler as being a potential weakness against a younger and quicker opponent, instead we're building value in their long body of experience to portray that as a value, to make it into a strength of their game. We're turning that potential weakness into a strength. Here's a different example. Let's say a brand new character makes their debut and walks out onto the stage to absolutely zero reaction. On commentary, are you going to say, "Wow, the baby accountant sure got a chilly reception today," or "Wow, the baby accountant's debut sure landed like a fart in the middle of a church service"? No, you are not going to say those things. It's up to the commentators to turn that weakness into a strength. So instead of calling out the lack of audience reaction, you're going to use that as a way to add value to the debuting character. In this way, the crowd on hand is stunned by the baby accountant. Look at how they are transfixed by his every feature and by his every move. It's as if they're hypnotized by his sequined diaper, and I can hardly blame them. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Take that weakness, make it a strength. This second essential of commentary doesn't work if you're in a one-man booth scenario. You need someone else to be present so that you can find conflict within the commentary itself. When your broadcast partner espouses an opinion, you are going to choose a different point of view and defend it. Not just state it, but back it up with some kind of argument. This exact tactic is what led Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon to become the all-time greatest commentary duo in professional wrestling history as far as I am concerned. When Gorilla would give his opinion, Bobby would choose an opposing point of view and then go to ridiculous lengths to justify what he was saying. The more absurd his justifications became, the more delicious the commentary was. And as his continuously faulty logic backed him further and further into a corner, the more fun it was for the viewer. And then ultimately, a final decision about those opinions was rendered by the action inside the ring itself. When done well, this commentary technique adds a narrative layer so that it further hooks the audience. Now, this next one is a little difficult to wrap your head around, but it's vital to master, so listen carefully. This third essential concept of commentary is one I first cribbed from Andrew Stanton's brilliant TED Talk about storytelling from about 10 years ago, and I'll make sure to link you right to that. It's further explored in a video essay on the Lessons from the Screenplay channel about No Country for Old Men. But I want to give you the wrestling version of the theory of 2+2, which is to say, the audience doesn't want you to tell them the answer is 4. They don't want you to come to that conclusion for them. Rather, present the audience with 2+2 and let them arrive at the answer themselves. Let them draw their own conclusion. So when constructing the equation 2+2, part of that equation is the what of pro wrestling. And generally speaking, the what is self-evident. It's the action taking place in the ring. So, with the notable exception of when a member of the audience might have a visual impairment of some kind, the audience can see the what. It is self-evident in the ring. That's not the part of the equation the commentators have to supply. The commentators cannot only verbalize what's going on in the ring. That's the what. The part of the equation they've got to concentrate on is the how and the why. So, in addition to describing the action itself, describe how the match is being wrestled. Is it fueled by animosity? Is this match a game of one-upmanship? Is it laced with jealousy? Explain the how. And whenever possible, explain the why too. Why did we end up with this match? Why did these two wrestlers come into conflict with each other? Why did they agree to settle their differences in a lumberjack match? When you do that, you give the audience everything they need to solve the equation of 2+2. When you give the audience all the information they need to make up their own minds about the story and the characters, you are allowing them the satisfaction of solving the equation. You're just giving them the answer when you say things like, this wrestler is beloved by our audience, and this wrestler is reviled by our audience. And you know how you're expected to react to people being presented as good guys and bad guys in pro wrestling, right? That's giving them the answer. That's telling them 4. But audiences resent that. They want to solve it for themselves. So give them what, and give them how, and give them why. And then let them decide that 2+2 equals 4. This fourth one requires a deft hand, my friend. You're always going to find the value in every wrestler. And when you can't, you're going to invent one. So let's say 2 wrestlers come to the ring, and one has a really impressive physique, while the other wrestler has a less remarkable physique. Well, from the outset, assigning value to the one with a very impressive body is easy to do. You could spend the first 30 seconds of commentary lavishing some value on all the time that they spend in the gym and their incredible musculature, etc. And then you need to wait. What value is presented by the wrestler with the less remarkable physique? Are they acrobatic? Are they unpredictable? What value are they bringing? And my rule of thumb is, if 90 seconds go by and they seem to be presenting no value, I make one up and I assign it to that wrestler. Here's an example I have absolutely used in the past. Let's say it's 2 minutes into a match, You are there on commentary, you have no idea what value the wrestler presents. They didn't tell you their differentiating value proposition, nobody seems to know, maybe it's a brand new character that doesn't even have one yet. At that point, offer up something like this. I spoke to Adam Adams before his match today, and he told me he spent hours studying up on his opponent's favorite moves. Let's see if that pays off for him in today's match. And then, moments later, when he inevitably reverses or escapes from some move, you're going to use that to affirm the value you already put out there on commentary. It looks like that homework is really paying off. All that advanced study just saved Adam Adams. What a student of the game. If you're looking to continue branching out in your backstage capacity and you want greater creative challenges, well, click on this video right here about booking pro wrestling storylines. And down here is a link to my Patreon. We'd love to have you as part of our community, and you'll get access to tons of exclusives. Down below in the description is a link, and if you follow it, not only does that help me out a little bit, but it's going to give you my newest audiobook absolutely free.